Good evening, Lizzie boys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some more Monster High news. We seem to be getting little trickles of news here and there every few days. So, the RuPaul doll has officially been announced. We got concrete price information. The pre-order is up on Amazon. Although I've noticed the links don't work. I tried to post one to my Instagram story and it was like, oh, it's too long. What do you mean the link is too long? What do you mean I can't post it because the link is too long? I wasn't even trying to post an affiliate link. I was just trying to post like a normal link and it wasn't working. I'm getting off topic though. I also wanted to talk about two Monster High prototypes that Garret revealed somewhat recently. We got to see them last year in pretty poor quality, but now we have full, good quality images of the prototypes as well as descriptions written by the man himself. So if you guys are interested in that, you're cool with that, let's get right into it. So first things first, the RuPaul doll. Having these out-of-box stock photos allows us to see the doll much better. I found that seeing the doll against a white background, especially when their outfit is mostly black the way RuPaul's is, it's easier to make out specific details and, like, see the doll better. Like, in photograph form, at least. Obviously, seeing the doll in person is the best way to form an opinion, but, you know, I'm not getting mine until, the tracking says, like, the 31st. Yeah, Mattel's sending me one of these. I didn't ask for it, I just kind of got that, so that's kind of cool. So, I think the face looks a bit off in these photos. I don't know, I just think her eyes look too big. But, I mean, Monster High dolls usually look like that, so I don't know why. But to me, it just looks like the eyes are too big. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're emulating drag makeup, and drag makeup is usually... Well, for some queens, they try to make their eyes look bigger. That's just what comes with makeup, I would say, though. A lot of people do that. Not just drag queens, but, you know, it's a drag queen, so obviously this is going to be drag makeup. I'm just yapping, huh? Oh, RuPaul doesn't seem to have earrings. I never noticed that. So, the doll is pretty well constructed, all things considered, and the price of the doll is only $55. Considering how expensive things can get when it comes to this new era of Monster High, I'd say that's pretty cheap. I know it's objectively, like, not cheap, but yeah, I'd say considering how much collector dolls usually cost, I was expecting this doll to be $75. That's what I thought the price was going to be, but it turns out that price was from Amazon Canada. So if you live in Canada, you have to pay a bit more, but that seems to always be the case. This doll is going to be available on Mattel Creations for early access tomorrow, as well as on Amazon right now. I'll try to add a link to this post somewhere if you guys are interested, but I don't know if I'll be able to. It might tell me the link's too long. Overall, this doll's pretty interesting, and I think I've already talked enough about the doll because we discussed this doll in like 2 previous videos of mine. The one where she first leaked, and then the one where the person who already had their hands on the doll somehow posted a bunch of photos of her out of the box. So I'm just gonna rest there. We're gonna let it rest here, and instead we're gonna talk about those prototypes I'm very excited to talk about. So this is Rochelle Goyle's prototype. Garret posted about her on his Instagram, and the pictures had initially been revealed at a convention that he was at, but we didn't get to see, like, the full good quality photos until, when was this posted? 3 days ago. So we got to see this 3 days ago. One thing you might notice immediately is that this doll does not use Rochelle's head sculpt, she uses Torali's. And Garret notes in the post that they, what did they do? They ran her head. They ran Torali's head in a gray tone. So I'm just reading this directly from the post. It's also noted that this doll uses Dawn of the Dance Draculaura's earrings, which you can see. You can see that it's the same sculpt, just dyed black. And she also uses Mad Science Lab Laguna's necklace, and Back to School, or as the fans call it, School's Out, Frankie's charm bracelet, Gulia's headband in pale pink with black details, and Home Ick Frankie's shoes, which were redecorated. Sorry I read that out so awkwardly, I'm really bad at reading things. He also notes that the wings, her actual wing sculpt had not been, like, created yet, and there was also no existing Monster High body with, like, holes in their backs to compensate for wings at the time, so they instead used he says he thinks they used the same wings that the gargoyle, like, figurine from the Monster High School playset would use, which I think is kind of funny. So obviously the number one reason that this is interesting to me is because they used Toralai's head sculpt for Rochelle, and since Toralai is the best Monster High character ever, the head sculpt actually looks amazing for Rochelle. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Rochelle's original face was never my favorite. I grew to appreciate it more after they completely, for lack of a better word, fucked it up with Fangvote Rochelle. I still think Fangvote Rochelle has an ugly face. But yeah, I think the screening here is gorgeous. I really like the purple lipstick. Like, I don't know, I really, really like the way that looks on her. This prototype is extremely interesting to me, and I like her a lot. It would be nice to see this prototype surface somewhere and be safe, you know, like not destroyed, because they do unfortunately destroy prototypes in factories more often than not. It would really be nice to know that at least the head, I at least want to know that the gorgeous head made it out of the factory alive. Yeah, so this one's probably my favorite of the two, because there are two to talk about. We've also got this Venus prototype that uses Ghoulia's face sculpt, and again, just kind of looks better than the final product. I really like the way this looks. To be honest, I don't see much of a difference between this face sculpt and Venus's actual face sculpt, but I'd probably have to be comparing them side by side to notice the differences. So that's probably what it is. So something you might notice right away is that this doll's body is hand-painted. It was the same with Rochelle. Both of them had hand-painted bodies. Garret Sander even noted that Rochelle was like hand speckled to emulate how she would look like in the final product. I noticed they didn't speckle her face. Just something to point out there. Venus has painted on vines around her arms and around her ankles, which I think is really cute. But, you know, I do prefer that they gave her the separate vine pieces, even though it makes her harder to complete nowadays, because those pieces are very easy to lose, unfortunately. You know, back then it was super cool. I got most of my Venuses new in the box, so I've never had to worry about missing vines, but that's just me. This doll looks really cool. I really like that she has like a meaner expression to her. I think Ghoulia's face sculpt with the cheekbones complements her very well. I did end up looking up what the difference between their faces are off camera. I just think it's a very interesting prototype. It's really cool to see rudimentary things like this. In the description, he notes that, as you may be able to tell here, Venus is using Ghoulia's head, Ghoulia's physical education shoes, painted on vines, Laguna's mad science necklace, yet again. Both of these dolls use the same necklace, which is pretty interesting. And she also uses Spectra's cuff, which I did not notice, but I can see that now. Yeah, that does look like a little chain cuff. And she's also on a painted body. Garret Sander calls this an experimental roto, which they would do with the head sculpts. So that's what I explained with Rochelle, where they essentially take another character's head sculpt and run it in another plastic color to create a prototype for a different character. That's why we've got a gray Toralai head here and a green Ghoulia head here. All in all, I just think these are really interesting, very unique pieces of Monster High history, and there actually is a safe Venus head out there. It seems like they made more than one of each of these heads, because Dolls for Dessert owns one of the Venus heads like this one. It's not the exact same head, the screening is slightly different. This one has like I said, like a meaner expression, you know, like meaner eyebrows. More, what's the word I'm looking for? Narrowed? Angry? I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but the doll has a different expression to the one that Dolls for Dessert currently has. I would put pictures in the video, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm too lazy to get any, so I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, that's about everything I wanted to talk about in this video. So we've got the RuPaul doll and the prototypes. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. I think I've said everything I wanted to. So yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping that Garret Sander will post more prototypes soon, because there were so many that he showed off at that booth that he did at that convention, and he said that he would post the higher quality pictures of all of them to his Instagram, but ultimately he has only started posting them recently, and that panel, I want to say, was close to a year ago. I'm not sure what took him so long to start posting these, but here's to hoping that he'll share some more with us. I'd really like to see the haunted prototypes because he posted, well, he presented more photos of those. We've seen River, but we haven't seen the other characters as clearly. They had pets before, and he showed off what the pets looked like. I really want to see how Vendala's cuttlefish was supposed to look, and I also really want to see the I forgot what they were called. There were these like bug ghouls that were made before, and like one was a snail, one was a spider. Those were supposed to be the Frightmares. That was like the initial concept for the Frightmares, but they got replaced by the Frightmares, I think. I could be wrong. It's been a while since any of this has been discussed. So yeah, I'm hoping that we'll get to see some more someday. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!